Okay, hi everyone. I just wanted to pop in and make this quick video. I'm wearing the same shirt that I wore in the cats video, but let me assure you, it is a different day. It's December. And the full moon was yesterday. It was a whole thing. Anyway, okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about um like safety for kids. So we all want to protect kids. I mean, most of us. Um, there's this there's this strange cognitive dissonance with I've noticed like parents, caretakers, people who love children, and this dissonance of knowing that most of the people who abuse children are family members. Like most of the people who um like they have done study after study on this. There's so many stats. It's either family members or it's people that are in the field. Like it's your best friend. It's your best friend's husband, right? It's the the brother you might have known for forever, right? You've known him forever. That like it's hard to realize this, but the people who are abusing kids they're not like, oh, yep, this is stamped on my forehead. This is what I'm doing, right? And as a therapist, I feel compelled to make this video because I think we don't want to believe that, right? As a society, it's very much like this isn't true, or like not my people, not the people that I'm surrounded by. But again, imagine this. You realize that you're a pedophile, right? Whatever. You're 12 and you're like, oh, whoops, this is weird. Um, from 12 onwards, you know that society does not like this. You have now learned that you need to hide it, right? You've learned like it's not super socially acceptable at all. So you get really good at almost denying it to yourself, right? And another misconception is like not all pedophiles are child molesters. Those are two different categories. There can be a pedophile who never molests a single child, for sure. Or they've gotten therapy or they're in rehabilitation. But then there's child molesters, but they have, they've learned this is a thing that's not socially acceptable. So I am going to hide it, like hide the crap out of it. I know all of the tricks. I know exactly how to hide it. I know exactly how to be charming so that nobody ever figures it out. Now, terrifying, scary, not great, but knowing that it's usually someone in your field. So when your child comes to you and they're like, it was grandma, right? Believe the kid, only because firstly that there's no reason that kid would lie, but also that adult has had years of trying to hide it from other adults, right? They know exactly what to say. They know how to fake it. So if you're feeling uncomfortable, even in this conversation, take a breath. It's okay, right? It's all right. Take a breath. Don't freak out. And also kind of take a critical look at how to protect your children. One of the biggest things is do not let them sleep over places. I do not give a how normalized this is in current society. Like, oh, you met Heidi. We met her dad like 5 times. Sure, you can sleep over. Why? Why? What is the purpose of that? It makes no sense. Like, make sure they're sleeping in their own bed. It's not a extreme rule. You're not a very strict parent if you're like, no sleepovers. Sorry, no sleepovers ever. That seems reasonable to me, right? You would be surprised how many report like it was a sleepover. It was when my parents weren't around. It was when I was in this vulnerable position where like somehow I had to go to this other house and I didn't know. And it was like there, like you have no idea who is in someone else's house. Yes, you might know the husband and the wife, right? You might know, I don't know, Carl and Julia, and they have a son and your son goes to sleep over there, Carl and Julia might have like freaking cousin Larry who comes over, and cousin Larry sucks, right? Like we have no idea. They might have someone renting out their basement. They might have some aunt who shows up like impulsively. So it's not like they were hiding it from you, but I don't know, Aunt Sophie just shows up and she's now like sleeping over too. Now she's at the same house that your kid is at, and they didn't know it, you didn't know it, they don't feel compelled to call you and say, hey, Aunt Sophie's here, she has a bunch of weird stuff going on. No one's going to tell you that. Right? They're not going to be like, oh, I've got to call them at midnight because she showed up. Now she's in the same house as your child who's asleep. For what? Like, so I just feel like that's such a ridiculous risk. I don't understand why it ever has to. There's no amount of this will be fun that'll make up for now I'm scarred for life. Now I need therapy for 3 years, 5 years, however long it really takes for the therapy to sink in, because your kid was like, I want to have fun for a night. Right. So I want to normalize this. We don't need to be doing sleepovers. Nobody needs to be at other houses that they don't know about. It's not safe. It's not safe. It's just an uncalculated risk because you don't know who they're allowing in their home. Okay. That's how I feel. Thank you. Subscribe.